All right. Hey, everybody. We have a very special day today in a few different ways. I'm going to explain to you exactly how momentarily. Part of the reason is that we are expecting 2 live streams today. And these are going to be some of the last opportunities to get to 1 million subscribers before our vacation, because we are going to be on vacation next week. And unfortunately, the way the math is looking right now, and it really is unfortunate. We are projected to hit 1 million subscribers on September 21st. Now, the thing is, that's not really true because we're at 992. We're actually at about 993, which is 7 away, and we're getting 2,000 a day. So we're really probably more like 3 or 4 days away, which will be during our vacation. But I am wondering if it's conceivable that by the end of tonight's stream, because there's a second stream tonight in about 4 hours, I wonder if we could get to 1 million today. So we're going to be going for it. We are going to be hearing from Donald Trump, presumably at the top of the hour. He might actually be on time today. And the reason I say that is he actually has sort of a tight schedule today because of the second event. He's scheduled to meet with Pompeo at 3:30. And then at 3:45 is the out-of-town pool call time at Joint Base Andrews to head to, where is he going tonight? Michigan. Tonight, there's this rally in Michigan at 7. So he may actually have to stay on schedule today to the extent that Trump has to stay on schedule. And we are expecting, as you can see here, about 80 minutes of remarks from Trump tonight at another Corona rally. So we'll have that later for you. 2 streams today, and then we will be on vacation next week. So hoping for a very, very powerful situation. Welcome to the 10,000 of you that are already watching across our 3 major platforms, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. It's so great to have you here. I do have fresh memes. I do have fresh memes for you guys, but the only issue is I'm not going to have fresher memes tonight. So I don't know if I should hold the memes for tonight or just show the same memes twice. I'm guessing the audience tonight might be maybe a slightly different audience than the one that we're going to have now. So I could do the same memes twice, or I could just hold the memes for tonight. Welcome to everybody watching on Twitch. We are already almost at a level 3 hype train on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, don't even worry about this. But don't worry about it. But we do have, Brune Breed and Not Thumb and Jarrell Chess and all of these great people supporting the hype train over on Twitch. Let's see, where do I want to go? Maybe we will just show some of the memes. Let me first do a few super chats. Actually, no, before I even do that, I have new members to thank already. Robert Waltman is new member number 1. Andrea Brown is new member number 2. And David Bronlick is new member number 3. So we're already at 3 new members, and I've basically not even started yet. Okay, a few super chats. Chakaseki says, do you think today Trump will tender his resignation and we will finally see the dissolution of the Third Reich? The Third Reich. I like that. No, I don't expect resignation. Matt Chavez says, I've gotten 400 plus 2016 non-voters to commit to voting for Biden in Arizona. That's how we beat Trump. Stop debating his cultists and just get out the vote. Yes. Yes, well said. Azar says, hey, David, this week our house was selected at random to participate in the Nielsen ratings for most watched show. It was easy. David Pakman Show by a landslide. Very powerful. I appreciate that. And Dark Chip says, Sam Cedar ain't going to be happy if you hit 1 million tonight. Speaking of which, I'm going to give you guys one element, okay? This is Anthony Mellon Fantano's 1 million subscriber congratulation. This is early. I'm previewing this. I know people want to imagine like we hit 1 million and everybody congratulates. Obviously, these things take time, so we already have received most of the congratulatory messages. Let's just listen to one, okay? I'm just going to show you guys one.
Okay. Well, Mr. David Pakman, congratulations on 1 million subscribers from Anthony Fantano
Right.
of The Needle Drop, the internet's busiest music nerd. Keep on speaking truth to power and messing up your hair and stuff. You're the best. Good job, buddy. Ha!
There you go, guys. So a very, very inspirational message, a defiant message from Anthony Fantano about fighting the forces that would seek to keep it. Wait, no, he didn't say any of that stuff, actually. But it's a nice message, a nice message. And of course, Donald Trump also recently, I don't know if you guys saw that. Whoa, no, hold on a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. Did you see Donald Trump's disgusting tweet saying that this is what Joe Biden's America looks like? Look at these two. That is a scary, scary message. And as you can see, this is fake. 69,000 retweets, 420,000 likes. So that's not real, but it is pretty funny. So I'm glad that I was able to show you guys that. Okay, super chats continue to pour in. Autumn says, do you think the fires spreading along Oregon and California could be related to Trump saying Portland was on fire? No. Zach Foster says, David, with Dr. Birx also downplaying the COVID threat, even though she knew Trump knew it was bad, how is this woman still getting media appearances? I called Birx out. I called Birx and Bricks. I called them both out months ago. And it's stunning to me. Stunning to me. Daniel says, are Trump's frequent appearances on Hannity recently a sign that he's worried about the election? I believe so. I believe so. P.S. Congrats, about to hit 1 million subscribers. Yeah. Thanks to David and Procliffo. Procliffo says, will Trump announce his plans to pardon Snowden? I don't think we're going to hear that from him today. Yeah. By the way, does anybody know if anybody is live in the room right now? I would love to have a live feed. I always prefer a live feed, but I'm not able to find one right now. Let's see, Trump live. Is Bloomberg live in the room? They might be. Bloomberg could be live, which would be beautiful. Bloomberg is, yes. Let's go over to Bloomberg very much immediately, just so we can keep an eye on what's happening in the room after we see a Joe Biden ad. Will you vote for Joe Biden? Yes, I will. Okay, good. All right. So now we are in the room and we'll have a sense of what's going on. Okay, Church of Chris says via Super Chat, just under 3,000 watching the White House live, 10,000 here. Yeah, it's wild what's going on. My YouTube rep actually told me that, I may have mentioned this before, on the RNC night, we had a bigger audience than the Trump official YouTube channel on some of the RNC nights, if you guys can imagine that. It's insane. Thank you to Scuttle Butters and Deflated Brady. We have 20 seconds left to achieve a level 4 hype train on Twitch. Dead Runs, thanks for the sub. Grizzbat, thank you. And there it is, 100% moving on, thanks to Moo Crumpus, moving on to a level 4 hype train. Let's see here. The requisite Twitch message asking whether I even look at Twitch chat has just surfaced. It's always, you would imagine it's almost like I've asked someone to do it, but somebody eventually will always ask, yes, I am looking at Twitch chat. Other new members to say thank you to. Savannah Williams is new member number 4 today. Ryan Saunders is new member number 5. Aaron Cornell is new member number 6. Okay, enough demands for fresh memes. Even though there's a second stream tonight, guys, I am going to show you some of the fresh memes. Let's see what I've got. Okay, I have, this is a deep fake of me as Trump. We had deep fakes yesterday or 2 days ago of me as Iron Man and of me as Conor McGregor, I believe is his name. This is a deep fake of me as Trump, okay? This is pretty aggressive. Take a look at this. Look at me go. So anyway, that's nicely done. Like that one. Here is, okay. The other day I posted this on my Instagram, and I assumed it would be ripe for memification. I thought it would have high memetic potential, and I got nothing from people. These are some of my prepping supplies, and we finally did get one. Here is me, I guess, outside the White House holding a medical plasma bag, as you can see. And this is sort of like a please disperse moment. So finally, a meme related to this image. You can find that on my Instagram at david.pakman. I also have, I'm just going to get all of these out of the way for you guys as we're waiting for Donald Trump. I've also asked many times, if your pets like watching me on TV, send me the video, okay? This is video I'm going to present to you today of Drago. This is Eric's dog, Drago. And this is him. I guess he just loves the David Pakman Show. Look at Drago locked in here.
Donald Trump, but Mitt Romney is not the center, and that's important to understand. When the left thinks the center is something that it's not,
look at that good boy.
it tries to appeal to the center in the wrong ways. So let me know what you think. I think that this new center represents a lot of the changes we've been
locked in
the United States, which would include a sort of status quo perspective on some issues and not.
All right, so that's Drago, Eric's dog. Very much appreciated. If your pets like watching the David Pakman Show.
Hey, David. I feel like we don't talk enough about how if Trump loses,
where's that
he's
coming
gonna be
from?
Tweeting from the sidelines constantly, and I'm curious your thoughts. If you think
I have no idea where that's coming
will
from.
Still hold him up as a god. If you think members of Congress will
what the hell
be influenced by him, or if they're just gonna if they're eager to just have an excuse to ignore him. I'm curious your thoughts. Thank you.
Oh! I realized what happened. It went on to the next file, which was the voicemail for today's show. Okay, I apologize about that. Okay, so we figured that out. So anyway, if your pets like the David Pakman Show, particularly dogs, we accept cats, but really we prefer dogs. Please make sure to send those in because we absolutely love those. I'm trying to get a better feed. There's like there's a mouse cursor going up on top of the screen here. Let me see if I can find another feed for us. Here's the Hill feed. Here's the Fox Business feed, the Bloomberg feed. All right, we've got multiple feeds going. So hopefully we're going to be able to do it all. Okay, that's it as far as memes for today. I don't have anything else for you. So let me get back to some super chats here. Okay, the vegan villainess said, oh, by the way, we have 2.5 minutes left still to complete a level 5 hype train. We've not completed a level 5 hype train for about 10 days. So thanks to Hannibal and Metrobe and Hannibal again and Reich Chef and The Freak and all of these great people, we actually may do it. We may be able to do it. The vegan villainess, remember when Trump yelled to liberate certain states that were on lockdown back in April? Trump is a murderous psychopath. Hashtag Trump knew. Can't disagree with a word you're saying, vegan. Christopher Meisel says, I subscribed as a soy boy. Greetings from Vienna, Austria. You know, I was scheduled last month to go to Vienna and Salzburg, and then the plague came in. And I didn't make it, as many of you know. I hope to get there soon. I've never been to Vienna. Christoph Meisel says, just call me Chris. It's easier that way. Okay, Chris, thank you. White Death says, whoa, where did that go? White Death says, have you looked into interviewing any Uyghur activists? Yes, we have. We've reached out to some and hope to schedule that soon. Jacob Ratner says, if Trump wins, is leaving the country an overreaction? Depends on your priorities. Depends on your priorities. I can't tell you what you should be doing. We have completed a level 5 hype train over on Twitch with 1 minute to spare. Very much appreciate that. Just Go Travel says, David, I love you focus so much on the million subscribers as Trump focus on reaching his 1 million lies, both unnecessary. Thank you. Thanks to Josephine for signing up. Rising Phoenix says, Trump saying drank the Kool-Aid regarding black people in the U.S. is especially hurtful. The phrase comes from the People's Temple Massacre. Yes, I highly recommend Jeff Gwynn's book about Jim Jones. And it is an excellent, excellent book. Jeff Gwynn, fantastic author of sort of narrative disaster nonfiction. And I encourage you to check it out. Michigan Mama says, do you think Trump's inaction on COVID will ruin his chances at the Nobel Peace Prize? I'm refusing to even acknowledge the Nobel Peace Prize thing, other than on today's bonus show where we did acknowledge it. But I don't want to deal too much more with it. JL Switzerland says, hey, David, we really trust in your voting power to reclaim true democracy, a hopeful message from Switzerland, a true direct democracy. Boy, do I miss Switzerland in particular right now. I have had some great times in Switzerland. Thanks to everybody signing up here, by the way. Donna, Ari, Abigail. I have been to Zurich. I have been to Lugano. I have been to the outskirts of Zurich. That's really my Switzerland experience, I think. What a country. Really, what an amazing place. Chakaseki says, what do you think Trump's excuse is going to be about his truthful interview with Woodward, that his frontal lobe was turned off with Quaaludes? He's going to say that he didn't say anything wrong, basically. He's going to say, listen, when I said I didn't want people to panic, that's a good thing. I didn't want people to panic because I'm a leader. It's not believable, of course, because with the immigrant caravan, exactly what he wanted was people to panic. With Joe Biden's America, he's trying to create panic. So he wants panic when it's advantageous. Trump has no moral aversion to panicking the American people. Thanks to Jen. Oh, hold on. Luke says, I think it's only fair you reciprocate Mellon's gesture by wearing a yellow flannel on your next live stream. I don't own a yellow flannel, so that'll be tough. Fork Bomb says, happy birthday, David. Thank you. My birthday isn't for months, but I do appreciate it. Zesty says, you must have to agree with Trump from the standpoint of sophisticated crowds. Biden is clearly a Marxist-Leninist, of course. Of course. You have not missed anything. Donald Trump scheduled to speak at the top of the hour. We are waiting on the White House feed. By the way, 15,000 people watching on my YouTube channel, only 4,000 watching on the official White House feed. Can you imagine that? Isn't that wild? We are keeping an eye on the Bloomberg feed. We are waiting on a feed from The Hill, and we are waiting on a feed from Fox Business. So hopefully we will get some of those going very, very soon. I do want to warn people, we have 2 streams today, this one and then one tonight. We are now only 6,700 YouTube subscribers from 1 million. Okay. Social Blade told me we were not going to get it for 10 more days. We could get it today. We could get it right now. There are 16,000 people watching on YouTube right now. If less than half of you hit the subscribe button now, we could do 1 million subscribers right now. Otherwise, it's likely going to happen during our vacation next week, unfortunately. But we're going to be pushing very strongly for it because we've got this stream tonight. Trump is having a rally in Michigan, I believe. And we could actually do it today. We really could do it today, which would be just unbelievable. People asking about chess. We will be scheduling another chess tournament soon. Now that I'm done with PogChamps, we're going to be doing other chess things. And I think that some of the people that taught me in advance of PogChamps will actually be playing in my tournament, which would be a really great thing. Very, very much looking forward to it. Thanks to Jaku Jedi or Jedi for the Twitch Prime subscription. It is September. Jaku Jedi says, keep up the great work, sir. D-Storm has subscribed. Deflated Brady is supporting. Yelly Marie is supporting. Okay. Things are getting a little wacky here. Fried Rice Official says, David, my dad has started watching you now. And I want to thank you for being such a great source in such a weird time. Cheers, mate. Quite poggers. Is poggers good or bad, guys? Does anybody know? I hope it's good. I think it's like Giga, right? It's very, very big and powerful. It's good. It's good. Okay. It's bad. Oh my God. Well, then I don't like it. Let's see. Other super chats coming in. What happened here? I missed some. Oh boy. Carrie says, Canada loves you all. I want to fish with my friends again. Yes, to fishing. Dominic Richardson says, live talking orange embarrasses country in delusional propaganda rant. That is what the title should be, yeah. Big SOS Man says, you say you prefer dogs, but you'll love my cat. You know, I do prefer dogs. That's true. I do prefer dogs to cats. Danny Thompson says, adding to the vegan villainess comment, remember when Trump wanted everything to open on Easter, April 12th? Yeah. How insane does that seem in retrospect? It's completely outrageous. Abigail Wardy says, thanks for covering the RNC. Listened with you while driving across the country with my dog, Lola. There are so many Trump signs across the country. Thank you for keeping the progressive push. We are going to keep doing it. Let me very briefly, I'm going to give you guys my hard sell membership pitch, which is really a very soft sell. Okay, here's the bottom line. I'm inviting you to grab a subscription on my website, joinpacman.com. If you don't like me, forget about it. Don't do it. If you like me, but you can't afford $2 a month, don't do it. The show is here for you. The streams are here. It's all here. If you like me and can afford $2 a month, and you actually want to support what we're doing, go to joinpacman.com and grab a membership. Okay. The normal prices are a little higher, but because you're my friends, you can use the coupon code 2020 now, which is right above my head, and you'll save 66%. Okay. That makes it $2 a month. If you pay for the year, it's $1.80. I will try to thank everybody who signs up to the best of my ability. And it really is our number one funding source. That discount is so big. There are certain counties where they have these blue laws, these antiquated places, very puritanical. The discount is so big, it would be certainly illegal and probably immoral in a lot of those more puritanical parts of the United States. So check local laws if it's even okay to accept a discount so big. But if it is, certainly grab a membership at joinpacman.com. I will thank some people right now. Arslan Ali is new member number 7. Miranda Garza is new member number 8. Thomas Hanreader is new member number 9. Nick Carrera is new member number 10. Josh Franklin, number 11. Linda Stravu, number 12. Nikki Hajal, lucky number 13. I will get back to that. The website is on fire right now. The website is just, there's 100 people browsing the website right now, considering memberships. Let's see how many of those folks sign up. I don't actually expect Trump to be too late today because he does have a schedule to stick to. He has a meeting with Mike Pompeo at 3:30, and then they're flying out to Michigan not that much later. So I actually do think Trump might not be that late today. We'll see. It's anyone's guess. Thanks to Moochil Wolverpine, not Wolverine, Wolverpine for the Twitch Prime subscription. Aqua 5am has subscribed. Reggie Nerd has subscribed on Twitch. Really appreciate it. We did peak at about 1430 Twitch subscribers in August. And of course, since it's monthly, a lot of those folks have fallen off. But we are fighting back up, as you can see up in that vertical blue rectangle, up to 1183. And my promise to you is, if I have it my way, we will get to 1,500 by the end of the month. That's my goal. And I do think that with the presidential debate towards the end of the month, which I will be carrying very, very proudly, we actually have a shot at getting to 1,500 on Twitch, which would be very, very interesting. Okay, other super chats coming in. Chris says, I'm born in Salzburg. Countryside is pretty as hell. Yeah, I've never been to Austria. Salzburg, very high on my list, Chris. I hope to be able to make it once things normalize. I really don't know how else to say it, but once things normalize, I hope to make it to Austria. Ryan Saunders says, good evening, David, watching from Yorkshire, UK. Thank you for all you are doing and wishing all Americans good luck in the election. Stay safe. Thank you. Green Randy says, P is stored in the heart. That's a weird mess. That's off color. I don't like that. David Gora says, thanks for helping me get through the day with your streams. Thank you, David, for supporting our work. Steven says, David, are you offended if I refer to you as daddy? I am. I do find that very, very much offensive. Keith Jacobs says Microsoft just warned China hacking Biden campaign. Haven't seen that, but I will look it up. Chris says, my fantasy football name is I Got Plasma. Congratulations on 1 million. Listen, let's do something special. Because across our various platforms, we are over 20,000 live concurrent viewers right now. I am going to give you guys my favorite song of the summer.
Today, I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our
This is Joseph Woodward's masterpiece, Plasma.
battle against the China virus that will save countless lives.
Right.
Convalescent, strong antibodies from the blood of recovered patients to help treat patients battling a current infection.
God, that's the best.
Convalescent is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent. Today, I'm pleased to make a
Listen, that's better than anything I've seen from Justin Bieber, right? I mean, let's be perfectly frank there. I am planning to record my own drum track to that song. I am having some tech issues with my. Maybe somebody in the audience can help me. I have the Roland TD9 V drums, and I am just having a hell of a time getting set up properly to put the track so I can hear it and record a master track with the drums. I've got 5 or 6 different iterations of cables, and I just cannot get it done. It's just not, I've not got it set up correctly. If somebody knows exactly what I need, please let me know. Please let me know. Okay. Someone just told me that they have delayed this press briefing until 3:30. Which seems like why maybe Caitlin Collins is leaving. And I believe this is Mario from Bloomberg who is heading out. Let's actually look at the official schedule and see if it indeed has been rescheduled. Not on Trump's official calendar, but that doesn't mean it hasn't been rescheduled. It certainly could have been. Let's look at, maybe Trump's Twitter would tell us a little something about it. He did now say it's going to be at 3:30. Okay, so we have 25 minutes remaining. Wow. Okay, well, that's all right. Maybe I will, what should we do as far as that goes? Yeah, and I have some boxes right outside. Let's, okay, I'm going to brown myself out just briefly, and then I'll be back, and then we will pick it right back up. Because I do have some boxes sitting outside and a couple things if I don't deal with, we will be screwed. So I'm going to be right back very, very powerfully and very, very soon. Hold on. All right, everybody, I'm back. Had quite a situation going on here at my place. They have rescheduled the press briefing from 3 p.m., which was about 20 minutes ago, to 3:30 p.m., which probably means it'll start in 2 hours, the way these things tend to go. Trump actually needs to leave and go where we are going to be covering his rally later, which is going to be in Michigan. And I think he's on an actual tight schedule, so who knows? But I think they are going to be hopefully close to 3:30, although at 3:30, again, per Donald Trump's scheduled to meet with Mike Pompeo. Let's refresh and see if it's been updated. No update. All right. So we don't know what's going on, but we are going to stand by and see what goes on later today. The Corona rally in Michigan certainly expected to have no masks, no social distancing, and could become another one of these super spreader events. I don't know if you guys heard, but the Sturgis motorcycle rally in South Carolina is believed to have caused 250,000 cases. That doesn't mean it was, so only 400,000 people went, only. It's not that 250,000 of those 400,000 got the virus. It's some smaller number got it, went back to their home states, spread it, those people spread it, those people spread it. And if you estimate a 1% death rate, that means that the Sturgis motorcycle rally arguably responsible for about 250 deaths if it is responsible for 250,000 cases. No, I'm sorry, 2,500 deaths. What am I talking about? That would be 0.1%. That's pretty ugly stuff. That's pretty ugly stuff, if I say so myself. Okay, we've got, what is happening? There's a lot of crazy. Did the chat get out of control while I was gone? It seems like while I was gone, a lot of people got banned. That's ugly. That's ugly. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's get to some of the super chats that are coming in. But before I do that, thanks to No Lad for the Twitch Prime sub, Judge Judy X, Mav Pew Pew, Yogi Ende has subscribed, Pink and Blonde has subscribed, Megawatt has subscribed as well. People asking about Spanish language content. We do have a Spanish language interview that I did last week, which I'm in the middle of subtitling. I didn't realize how much work it was going to be. It's a 40-minute interview in Spanish on a Puerto Rican podcast. I thought I'll just do the translation myself so people will know what's going on. I'm like 20% of the way in, and I'm already like more than an hour into the translation. It is a much slower process than I thought, but I've committed to it, my friends. I've committed to it. So I am going to try to get it done in time for our vacation next week. Okay. Let's see here. Eddie Awesomes says, hey, David, do you think Trump will do something desperate to gain positive press, like push for a fix to DACA, since majority of people support it? Now, I don't expect Trump to do anything immigration related between now and the election. I don't. Deritan says, would you be interested in speaking at British universities? Yes, sure. I'll go wherever they pay me, by all means. I've actually got some remote college appearances coming up that are being scheduled now. And I think that they will be very interesting. I am demanding in the interests of free speech and transparency that if a college wants to pay me to do a talk and they want it to be private, so like 20 students can participate, that's fine. But I always ask, here we go now. I ask that the video be made available to me so then I can publish it to YouTube. That's my thing. I always ask for that. Okay. Chris says, could send a pic later via your Facebook page. Chris, I don't know if you mean a picture of the Austrian countryside or what, but that is interesting. Thanks to Philip for signing up. Sean says, run up the vote, concerned Canadian. Yes, run it up. Run it up. I See Dead Llamas says, all of this news is wearing down on me mentally, but I feel responsible if I don't stay informed. I feel trapped and really want this election to end. Yeah, we're planning like a 4-year vacation after this election is done, depending on the results, right? You know what I'm talking about. Okay, I've fallen way behind on new member thank yous, so let me try to do some, okay? Because I know people are getting mad. Marietta Burdo is new member number 14. Deborah Modi is new member number 15. Joanne Lynn is number 16. George Rennie is number 17. Aaron Thompson, 18. Okay, I'm getting double subscriptions for some people. I think that's wrong. Frank Oliveri is number 19. And Brian Miller is number 20. I know that there are a few more, and I will get to those, doing the best I can. Oh, also, Becky Gurley has made a Patreon pledge, and we're counting those. So, Becky, you are number 21. I appreciate that very much. 2 streams today. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, okay, 2 streams today. This is a stream, and we will have a stream scheduled to start at about 6:40 p.m. Eastern time, just 20 minutes before the start of Donald Trump's rally in Michigan this evening. I am going to be pushing for 1 million subscribers today. Okay. I know that, if you do something like going over and looking at Social Blade, it says that we're not going to hit 1 million until September 21st. That's 10 days from now. Okay. Rough 10 and a half days from now. I believe we could actually hit it today. We are only 5,600 away. Right now, we are only 5,600 away. So between today's stream, this afternoon's stream, and tomorrow's stream, tonight's stream, I actually think we could get to 1 million subscribers today, which would be absolutely insane. Now, if we don't do it, we are on vacation all of next week, and it starts to become very likely that we will hit 1 million while we're on vacation, which is a little bit anticlimactic. I guess we'll come back and we'll have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but it seems cooler to do it during a stream, quite frankly. I don't know, but it'll ultimately be up to you guys. Thanks to Earl and Klaus for the YouTube subscriptions. Richard, oh boy, where'd that go? Hold on, I missed a bunch here. Oh boy, we just lost a whole bunch of these super chats. Hold on. Oh my God, where are they? So many of these super chats came in, I can't even find them. Oh, here we go. Okay, Richard says, a toast to outnumbering El Flatule's channel, sir. I don't know what on earth that is. Does anybody know what that is? I don't know what that is. Thanks to Mindy, Just Go Travel has retracted a message. Kevin's grabbed a subscription. Mike says, I have no confidence Trump will provide any new information during this conference. You are likely correct. Thanks to Alan. Scuzzlebutt says, Pog means play of the game. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. That's interesting. Antifa, that's clever. Trump didn't want to panic Americans. Trump wanted to cheerlead and watch Americans get sick. Wow. Jane Woman Power says, my dear friends here love and respect David and his amazing work. Hit that subscribe button. Big love from Canada. Earlier in the stream, when I mentioned this goal of 1 million, 1,000 people subscribed in like a minute. It was nuts. Sam Cedar's furious right now. Bolo says, damn it, David, you're just so damn good at what you do. Damn. Thanks, Bolo. Thanks to Boomer and Earl, Sabine, Boomer Plus. Jonathan Storvik says, recent subscriber, really enjoy your election coverage, David. Thank you. I was thinking maybe we'll stream on election night. Maybe we won't. I don't know. I mean, it's like, I might be busy that night. Who knows? That's a joke, by the way. That's a joke. Obviously, we are going to have a huge stream on election night. What I'm actually starting to think about is, do I want to pull in additional hosts for election night so we could go like from me to someone else to someone? So do we want like a rotating cast that we could go to? It's an interesting idea. It's an interesting idea for election night. So we're going to be looking at that. And I don't know exactly who they would be. I know that there are favorites in the audience and people that those in the audience don't like. But we'll think about it. If you have an idea. People rushing back into the room now, so presumably Donald Trump will be starting soon. Let's see if the White House feed has gone live. It has. So we're going to go volume up there. We're going to keep all of these other feeds going, but silenced, because we only need one set of audio. We don't need Trump audio in triplicate. That would be horrible. Okay, other new members. Amit Kapoor is new member number 22. Matthew Brooker is number 23. J.C. Bunnell is number 24, or Bunnell. Nancy Hardy is number 25. David Hale, number 26. Craig Geis, number 27. And as you know, when we get to 25, I always say, let's go for 50. Let's try it. Let's try it. I think we can do it. James Montalbano says, how should Trump square I don't want people to panic with Antifa is coming to take your property and seduce your women fear-mongering? Exactly the right question. There's Kayleigh McEnany and Scott Atlas, who favors a herd immunity approach to coronavirus, which could lead to 1.5 million deaths, or even 2 million deaths, 2.2 million. Here is Donald Trump. Let's see what we've got today.
Thank you very much. Wow, we have some big ones today. Huh? This is a room loaded up. Wow. Paula Reed, Jonathan Karl, Phil Rucker. Hi, Phil. How are you?
Trump hates Phil Rucker.
We've got the All-Stars, a lot of All-Stars today. You too. You too.
Oh my God, this
That's
is weird.
good. Well, that's fine.
This is a weird start.
Thank you very much. In the past 4 months, we've added 10.6 million jobs,
After losing 45
including
million.
643 manufacturing jobs and 600
It's already a live fest. They've recovered some of the 50 million jobs that were lost.
stations. We've experienced the smallest contraction
A contraction?
of any Western nation, meaning we've been affected less than any other nation,
That's not true.
Western nation, and
That's
probably
obviously a
almost,
lie.
I think you can put us in, I just saw some numbers, I think you can put us into just about any category anywhere.
No.
And the fastest recovery by far, and that's anywhere. Nobody's
Wrong.
recovered like we're recovering.
None of that's true.
If we followed Joe Biden's strategy, we'd shut down the entire country after just having set records on growth.
Trump both brags about how it was the right decision to shut it down when he did it and criticizes Biden over something Biden didn't actually say he would do.
An economic crisis in our history. By contrast, the Obama-Biden administration had the slowest, weakest, and worst recovery in American history, as you know.
Untrue.
We continue to make progress in our fight against the China virus. New weekly cases have declined by 44% since July. Deaths declined.
Last week he said they were down 80%, but then it didn't go so well. These numbers are not really meaningless out of they're not really meaningful out of context.
The European Union, which have recently experienced a sharp increase in cases, they're having a very big spike over there. We're hopefully beyond our spike, and we'll see, but we're doing very well all over our country. In the past 5 weeks, per capita cases doubled in France, surged to over 300% in Spain, which I've been hearing about and speaking to some of the leaders of Spain. And
He
they're
doesn't
having
even
a
get the
hard
numbers. He
time.
doesn't understand stats.
And increased more than 400% in Italy again. And as you remember, I put a ban on people coming in from Europe.
Remember that when your numbers are tiny, saying a 400% increase may not really mean that much. I know you guys know that.
We also put a ban on Europe. So Spain is being heavily impacted, France, and 400% in Italy. Yesterday, European nations experienced 50% more deaths than the United States. And you don't hear these things. You don't hear these statistics, but the United States has done really well. I'm proud of everybody that worked on this.
We have the 9th highest deaths per capita in the world if you don't include San Marino and Andorra. If you do, then we're 11th highest in the world.
Not discussing therapeutics, we're rounding the corner. We already have therapeutics out there, by the way, which are having obviously a very big impact because
Huge.
you look at that, you look at the way people are recovering. It's
Right.
so much better than in the past before we knew about the disease and had anything to fight the disease. On schools, as part of our science-based approach, we want schools to safely open and stay open. Children are extremely low risk of complications from the virus, less than 0.2%.
Back to this, huh?
0.2% of the coronavirus deaths have occurred in those under the age of 25, and most had underlying conditions where there was a problem. There's no substitute for in-person learning. According to a recent study, student progress in math decreased by half.
Half.
And using online education compared to in-person or campus education. So online, we think of so many things online and how great it is. There's nothing like being in the classroom. That's what we've learned from this whole ordeal. According to the CDC, school closures disproportionately harm low-income and minority children, as well as those with disabilities. And I think you see some slides behind me that are very new, very current.
I believe Trump. I mean, he's not just, led us astray before. I'm sure he's telling us the truth about everything.
We hope that they do indeed stay open. We want to see Big Ten football. We hope it's coming back. We have a lot of the colleges that we're talking about. They want to come back. We hope that Michigan agrees. We hope that, and I know the governor will have a lot to say about it. We hope she
Oh my God, look at
approves
this
it,
slide.
But, we have a couple that Maryland's another one. We hope the governor puts a little pressure on so that we can have it. But I have a feeling they may do it. They may do it without having everybody. But I think they're going to have maybe Michigan, maybe Maryland. We have a couple of states that might not participate, but people are working very, very hard to get Big Ten football back. And I'm
This is like everything you shouldn't do in a slide.
country, and the players and the coaches want to do it really badly. The players are missing. They only have so many years of this, and the players are missing a big opportunity, including the chance in some of the cases to have some of the best players, college players in our country. And they want to get into the NFL, and they want to make money in the NFL, and they're not going to be able to do that too easy if you don't get to see.
You should open all school football programs for colleges because 3 to 5 players might get to the NFL.
The alternative is no good than going home, spreading the virus to high-risk Americans. They want to be on campus. They want to go back to school, and the parents want them back in school, maybe more so than they want to be back in school. And they want them back safely, and they want to go back safely, but they have to go back. Based on the recent data from more than 20 colleges, not a single student who tested positive for the virus has been hospitalized. So that's a lot of people. That's a lot of students. Not one has been hospitalized. As we continue to follow the science-based approach to protect our people and vanquish the virus, Joe Biden continues to use the pandemic for political gain. Every time I see him, he starts talking about the pandemic. He's reading it off a teleprompter.
Right. So voters say the pandemic is the most important issue. And so it's logical that Biden would talk about it. 200,000 people have died.
I don't know. I think if I did that, I'd be in big trouble. I think that would be the story of the year. When I took early action in January to ban the travel and all travel to and from China, the Democrats and Biden in particular called it xenophobic. You remember that? Joe was willing to sacrifice American lives to placate the radical left, open border extremists. And
Nobody's calling for open borders who has any position of power in the Democratic Party. Nobody.
we saved millions of lives by doing the closing and now the opening the way we did it. Joe's decision to publicly attack the China ban proved he lacks the character or intelligence or instinct to do what is
That's
right.
projection.
Now,
that is projection.
Biden's launched a public campaign against the vaccine, which is so bad
Uh-oh.
because we have some vaccines coming that are incredible.
So they're trying to frame Biden and Harris as anti-vaxxer. Trump's the guy who tweeted about some kid who got autism from a vaccine. Trump's the guy who had to be talked off a ledge by what's that guy's name? Ben Carson during the debates when Trump went anti-vax. Trump is arguably the actual anti-vax president. And now they're trying to frame Harris saying, I don't take Trump's word as being anti-vax. It's sick.
We're starting to see. They're incredible, actually. Biden's perfectly happy to endanger the lives of other people by doing something that he thinks is going to help him politically because his polls are getting very bad. They're getting very shaky.
Polls.
This was an election that was going to be very easy, very quick, and then the China virus came in, and I had to go back to work politically. Unfortunately, I had to devote more time politically than.
What a victim. I mean, guys, okay, sure, 200,000 Americans died, but he was going to have an easy re-election until the virus hit. Come on.
Looks like we're going up very rapidly, more rapidly than the media wants to admit. And Biden's had to go out. He's gotten out of his basement and he's working. Let's see what happens. But we got to talk about how great these vaccines are, if in fact they're great. And I think you're going to see numbers that are going to be very, very impressive.
Strong numbers.
The approach to the virus is a very unscientific blanket lockdown by the Democrats. That's what they're talking about, which takes all of these incredible statistics, records.
By the way, no one's talking about a blanket lockdown anymore. Who is actually saying now everything must close? Nobody's saying that. He's fighting against a straw man.
We did the shutdown, and now we're doing the opening, and there won't be any more shutdowns. There could be a little section, a small section, we have a breakout, but we're not talking about shutdowns like
That's exactly what Democrats are talking about.
Depending on experts. We're not going to be doing that. The swine flu was a disaster. You remember when
Remember, Biden and Obama had 66% approval on swine flu.
Biden was vice president. His failed approach to the swine flu was disastrous. He called it N1H1. It's actually H1N1. You know, you remember the H comes before the N, so it's sort of easy to remember, right? But Joe always calls it the opposite way. But call it the swine flu. It was disastrous. And his own chief of staff said that when Biden helped manage the swine flu in 2009, they, quote, did everything possible wrong. And 60 million Americans got H1N1 in that period of time. This is a quote from his chief of staff. And it's just purely...
I'm sure you guys remember how H1N1 was actually like the flu. I remember my brother got it and they said, we don't even really need to test because it is essentially the flu. I mean, it has nothing to do with this situation.
Telling us how to manage. He can't manage himself. 270,000 Americans were hospitalized during this attack. The outbreak was so rampant that the Obama administration told states to stop testing. We don't want any tests.
Exactly. You didn't need to test because there was no additional information that testing provided. It is a dramatically different situation. Once it was widespread and we realized the treatment is just the same as flu, there was no reason to test because it made no difference. The reason we were trying to test early was to actually control the spread. It's like a little kid.
Stop counting tests and stop counting cases.
Oh, my God.
And then left us a depleted stockpile, which is what I inherited. I inherited a very badly depleted stockpile. In other words, Biden...
Yeah, he only had 3 years during which he could have replenished it before the virus hit.
Of this very serious, highly, highly contagious epidemic or pandemic, the China virus, countless more Americans would have died. And if we didn't do what we did, and I say it all the time now because the media likes to belittle what we've done has been incredible. Now you can look at Europe and you can look at other places and you can start comparing.
It's ugly.
Biden is weak on China. Yesterday it was revealed that a fund partly owned by Joe Biden's son Hunter facilitated the sale of a Michigan auto parts producer to a leading Chinese military defense contractor. You don't want to write about that, do you? Biden spent his entire career selling Michigan jobs to China.
Literally a non-story.
Now the Biden family is selling out our country directly to the Chinese military, which has to do with this company that Hunter, here we go with Hunter again. He didn't have a job. Now all of a sudden he's selling companies from Michigan to China. China's military got American manufacturing jobs, and the Biden...
There's a lot of stuff that could hurt Biden. I don't think this unhinged Rorschach test of an attack on Hunter is going to do anything for Trump.
America. They will own America. Finally, I can announce with great pride that Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be departing this evening on a historic trip to Doha, Qatar, for the beginning of intra-Afghan peace negotiations. We've been negotiating with them for quite some time.
Going to Doha.
Getting along with them. Moved a lot of soldiers out. I got a report this morning that there's been nobody killed in Afghanistan since early February. It's a long time. There's been no deaths, no problems, and a lot of progress is being made in Afghanistan, but we'll be down to 4,000 soldiers in a very short period of time. Likewise, Iraq will be down to about 2,000 soldiers in a very short period of time. And in Syria, for the most part, we're out, other than we kept the oil. As we have soldiers guarding the oil.
Arguably a war crime.
Small number, but they're guarding the oil. And we're helping the Kurds, and we're making their lives much more pleasant because of the fact that we have the oil. So we're pretty much out of Syria. We're pretty much out of Iraq. And we're down to the smallest force that we've had in, we'll be very shortly down to that number in Afghanistan. The negotiations are a result of a bold diplomatic effort. One part of my administration in recent months and years, the United States will play an important role in bringing the parties together to end the decades-long war. It's been going on for almost 20 years, long before I got involved, I can tell you that.
Don't blame him.
And had they not been wasting our time with all of the phony witch hunts and all of the things, we probably could have done this even faster. But a lot of time had to be spent, wasted like that. But the parties are together right now, and we're negotiating, and we're really making tremendous progress. Next week at the White House, we'll be having a signing between UAE and Israel, and we could have another country added into that. And I will tell you, countries are lining up that want to go into it. As you know, UAE is headed by a very, very highly respected gentleman, and respected by everybody. And he's a warrior, too. He's a great warrior. And Mohammed's very excited about this. And you'll be hearing other countries coming in over a relatively short period of time. And you could have peace in the Middle East. I think what ultimately will happen is you're going to have quite a few countries come in. The big ones are going to be coming in. I spoke to the King of Saudi Arabia, so we're talking. We just started the dialogue. And you'll have them come in, and I think two things are going to happen. Iran will, if we win the election, Iran will come and sign a deal with us.
Why would Iran sign a deal with him when he just canceled a deal that they stuck to? This is maybe the worst, the least trustworthy negotiating partner Iran could imagine.
Number, and they'd like to be able to get back to having a successful country again. So I think that'll happen, and I think very importantly, the Palestinians will get back into the fold, and when they see all of these countries that frankly have been supporters of the Palestinians, very big supporters and certainly financial supporters. As you know, we used to pay the Palestinians $750 million a year, and I ended that some time ago on the basis that they didn't seem to want to make peace, and we'll think about it once we have a deal, but I've ended that quite a while ago. I'm frankly surprised they haven't been to the table earlier. But this is the best way. This is a way that's going to be great. This can really bring the Middle East together.
What is this guy talking about?
Since February, we haven't had a death in Afghanistan, that's a record for many years, not a death. And we're getting along very, very well with the Taliban and very well with Afghanistan and its representatives. And we'll see how it all goes. It's a negotiation, but Secretary of State Mike Pompeo will be
Let's get to the questions.
Departing in a little while. So I think that's very exciting news. And a lot of people thought that my natural instinct is war. No, my natural instinct is actually peace. When we were on the debate.
His natural instinct is, how can he try to make himself look better? How can his narcissism be fed like a bottomless pit?
Military, that $2.5 trillion, new jets and rockets and tanks and ships and a lot of things we have. We have the newest, best military we've ever had. So hopefully we won't have to use it. Our nuclear program has been put into gear like never before. And in particular, hopefully we won't have to use that, because that's a whole new level of destruction, and we never want to. Just have to pray to God we never have to use that.
Right, Trump's a praying man.
Please, John.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Why did you lie to the American people, and why should we trust what you have to say
Such
now?
a terrible question, and the phraseology. I didn't
Nasty.
lie. What I said is we have to be calm. We can't be panicked. I knew that the tapes were. These were a series of phone calls that we had, mostly phone calls.
Phone calls.
And Bob Woodward is somebody that I respect just
Oh.
from hearing the name for many, many years, not knowing too much about his work, not caring about his work. But I thought it would be interesting to talk to him.
He has to throw in
for
a dig.
period of calls. So we did that. I don't know if it's good or bad. I don't even know if the book is good or bad. But certainly, if he thought that was a bad statement, he would have reported it because he thinks that you don't want to have anybody that is going to suffer medically because of some fact. And he didn't report it because he didn't think it was bad. Nobody thought it was bad. When
That's not why Woodward didn't report it, although there is controversy over that, and I talk about that on tomorrow's show.
television network, it's a disgrace to your employer. And that's the answer. You ready? Because I
What a
love.
disgrace.
Of course I didn't. Of course I didn't.
It was
No.
deadlier than the flu, and then you went out and told the American public that this was just like the flu.
Let me tell
I
you
mean, you
something.
told
We've had
Woodward
flu
one thing and you
years.
told everybody else something else.
No, and
Uh-oh.
5 times.
Here we
right?
go.
5 times. Do you ever hear the expression 5 times?
He's
We've
gonna
had flu
explode.
years where we lost 100,000 people.
He's going to explode.
The flu is a very serious problem for this country also. And we've been losing them. Scott, what kind of a number have we lost over the years with flus? Into the hundreds of thousands.
If you combine
Well, I
a whole
mean,
bunch of
The
years.
last 5 years have been something like 35 to 80,000 per year, every year, even with antiviral drugs and even with
Flu is a
vaccines.
very serious problem also.
You told
But
Bob
just so
Woodward
you
this is worse than the most deadlier than the most strenuous flu.
okay,
And then you went out and said it's just like the flu.
Right.
what I went out and said is very simple. Listen, what I went out and said is very simple.
Listen.
I want
listen.
to show a level of confidence, and I want to show strength as a leader, and I want to show that our country is going to be fine one way or the other.
What a shit
Whether
show.
we lose one person, we shouldn't lose any because this shouldn't have happened. This is China's fault. This is nobody's fault but China. China should not have
China.
allowed it to happen. Whether you have one person, 180,000 people, or 2.5 or 3 million people, which it could have been.
Every death is tragic, but the idea that it's the same no matter how many people die is an idiotic idea.
Put the ban on. Dr. Fauci said we saved hundreds of thousands of lives by putting the ban on China and then ultimately putting the ban on Europe. There was no lie here. What we're doing is we're leading, and
He's
we're
lying
leading
now.
in a proper way. And if, frankly, somebody else was leading it, they wouldn't have closed it. If you look at Nancy Pelosi,
I hope every reporter asks a question about this and calls him a liar like Jonathan Karl did.
months later, they said there's no problem. They're talking about me. Months later. And before any statement was made, you have to remember, I put the ban on China. So obviously, outwardly, I said it's a very serious problem. And
No.
it's always a serious problem. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump up and down in the air and start saying, people are going to die, people are going to die. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to get through this. And we're right now, I hope, really think we're rounding the final turn. And a lot of good things are happening with vaccines and with therapeutics. But there's no lying. And the way you asked that question is very disgraceful. Phil, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I do think so.
Mr.
I think we did a
President.
great job. I think we did a great job. And the people that did such are generals, our admirals, Mike Pence, all
The
of
generals he called pussies in recordings with Bob Woodward, right?
and now Dr. Atlas, and all of
Dr.
the
Atlas.
Dr. Fauci, Dr. Birx, they should be respected for the job they've done.
So you won't
And
downplay
you
it
haven't-
again. You won't downplay it again because you said you downplayed it. That's what you told me.
All I'm doing is, no, I don't want to jump up and down and start screaming death, death, because that's not what it's about. We have to
Oh, my
lead a
God.
country. We're leading a great country, and we're doing a great job. And the people that have done such a good job should be given the kind of credit that they deserve. We possibly have done the best jobs when you start looking at what we're doing with
What?
the vaccines and therapeutics and ventilators. We had no
What?
ventilators, John.
The best job.
Ventilators now a month, and we're supplying them to the whole world. The job we've done is the best job, and don't give me any credit. Give the people that have done this the credit. They've done a great job. Yeah, Phil, go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, you talked about the need to stay calm and not jump up and down and scare people. A lot of other world leaders were calm German Chancellor Angela Merkel was very calm as she presented information to the German people
Beautiful.
so that they could stay safe and protect their families.
Beautiful.
So why, as you, as President of the United States, did you not level with the American people? Did you not share the information that you knew at the time in real
Well,
time?
I don't know what Angela's doing, but if you look at the European Union right now, they're having breakouts.
So he says he doesn't know what Angela is doing, but throughout this entire thing, he would talk about how Angela is calling him for help and all of this other stuff, and he seemed to know exactly what she was doing.
And much, much better than the European Union. I just read you numbers that are not good on their behalf and that are very good on ours, and we have rounded the final turn, and we're going to have vaccines very soon, maybe much sooner than you think. Listen, maybe much sooner than you think. But we have done a phenomenal job, and the people that have done this job, including the American public that's had to put up with a lot, with the lockdowns and all of the things that they had to do, they have to be given credit. They have to be given
But
credit.
you knew this
Please,
was
go
a
ahead.
deadly virus. You knew it was airborne. You knew on February 7th, you told Bob Woodward how it transferred from person to person in the air, how deadly it was. Why did you not come to the podium and calmly
Well, let me
tell
ask you
the
this.
people
If
what
Bob
happened?
Woodward thought that was bad, because this is stuff that everyone knew, there's a report that I have here someplace where China said it was airborne earlier than.
So the reason Woodward didn't go public, unfortunately, is because when Trump agreed to the interviews, when it's an interview for a book that's going to be out in months, it's either explicit or implicit. We'd have to find out that the material doesn't get published piecemeal before the book. That's almost certainly the answer to that question.
The fact is, there has to be a calmness. You don't want me jumping up and down, screaming, there's going to be great death, and really causing some very, very serious problems for the country. If Bob Woodward thought
Here we go.
what I said was bad, then he should have immediately, right after I said it, gone out to the authorities so they can prepare and let him know. But he didn't.
Why would it be Bob Woodward's responsibility to get authorities prepared? But does that make any sense?
The one that said it was bad or thinks it was bad were the fake news media, because they take it and they try and put it a certain way. If Bob Woodward thought it was bad, then he should have immediately gone out.
He thought it was bad, and he didn't immediately go out.
Maybe 5 months. He's had it for a long time. It was a series of taped interviews, mostly by telephone. Quick ones, not long ones, quick ones. And I did it out of curiosity because I do have respect and I want to see. I wonder whether or not somebody like that can write good. I don't think he can, but let's see what happens.
Right,
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. We're just about 50 days out from the election, and we haven't seen a lot out of the Durham investigation yet.
Yeah.
Where is that? And do you have confidence in the investigation?
Oh my God.
Well, I can't tell you that yet. I have to see. I'm not involved in it.
Is that OAN?
Stayed uninvolved. I'm, I guess, considered the chief law enforcement officer of the country. I could be involved if I wanted to. I thought it would be better if I wasn't. I think it's better if our great attorney general handled it. He has Durham, who is a very, very respected man, and we're going to see what it is. I can't tell you that. I can
See
tell
more
you this. I
indictments?
can tell you this. They lied. They cheated. They leaked. They got caught. They
were
spied on my
leaky.
campaign. Never in history has there been anything like this. And I guarantee if the roles were reversed,
Never in history has there been anything like this.
people would have been in jail at the very highest level. People would have been in jail for 2 years already. Nothing like this has ever happened. And the term would be for many, many years because it's treason, and other words can be used also.
Do you think there should be more indictments as a part of this
Well, I
investigation?
think just on what I read in your wonderful papers, I think, and see what, just looking at the media, not even what I know. I think Comey is a disgrace to our country. I think Strzok, who just wrote a book, which is a total fake, is a disgrace. I think Page, Lisa Page, his lover, is a disgrace to our country. I think that when you look at McCabe, where his wife got $700,000,
They should all be in prison, plus Obama and Biden, according to this guy.
right? And then Hillary Clinton's under investigation, and yet she paid the head of the FBI, one of the top people, but actually the head because he took over for the other guy, who fortunately I fired. I made a good move when I fired. That was a smart move because they were looking
is
to
he
take
talking
down
about?
this administration, duly elected administration. So I fired him. That was a
Duly.
great move when I fired him because maybe if I didn't, I wouldn't be here talking to you as president. But when McCabe's wife gets $700,000 in campaign
Imagine thinking that this is fundamentally about Andrew McCabe's wife.
Virginia, and yet he's in charge of the investigation of Hillary Clinton. Now he says, well, I wasn't really in charge. Of course he was in charge. He was totally in charge. He knew exactly what was going on. These people got caught in probably the biggest political scandal in the history of our country.
Biggest political
They got
crime.
caught. Now, what the Durham report is going to say, I can't tell you. But if they say half as much as I already know just from seeing it, you have people, I watch some of the shows. I watched Liz McDonald, she's fantastic. I watched Fox Business. I watched Lou Dobbs last night.
Oh, God. Lou Dobbs yesterday said that yesterday was one of the best days of Trump's presidency.
I watched Fox and Friends in the morning. You watch these shows, you don't have to.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
They cover things that are, it's really an amazing thing. They got caught in the biggest political scandal in the history of our country. They were spying on their opponent's campaign. Not only spying, they were making up fake dossiers. You have the dirty dossier. They were making up the dirty, it was all made up. It was all fiction. It turned out to be fiction. And then they were using that in the FISA courts.
Imagine seeing a transcript of this answer.
Not so revered anymore.
FISA courts, I like that.
Because when you look at what they did and how they played it, and they hurt a lot of people. General Flynn is still being hurt, and he's being hurt very badly. He's a wonderful person. I spoke to General Milley about General Flynn 2 weeks ago. I said, what do you think of General Flynn? He said, he's a great soldier, sir, and he's a wonderful, wonderful human being. He's been destroyed. He's been destroyed.
It seems mostly Trump just watches TV.
That this, without knowing anything about what Durham is going to release, the Durham report, we'll call it, or maybe it's going to be more than a report. Maybe it's going to be much more than a report. I don't know. Maybe it's a report, or maybe it's much more than that.
Right.
But when I look at the...
He's not going to walk out after this, right? After taking 2 real questions and then this fake one?
Yourselves, back and forth. I think it's a disgrace to our country. And I think if people don't pay a very, very substantial price, it'll happen again. And this should never, ever happen to another president. Thank you very much.
Oh, my God. I called it. I called it 2 questions from actual journalists, which are about his obvious lies. 1 question from OAN, and then he just bails. Oh, my God. I actually... it's weird. When I started saying he's not going to walk out after this, is he? The first half of the sentence, I was joking. And something about his demeanor by the time I got to the end of the sentence made it seem like he actually may be rapping at that. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Listen, thank you to the 30,000 people who joined me for this perfect live stream. I want to get to 1 million YouTube subscribers today. We're only 5,000 away. There's 26,000 people watching right now. Okay. We could get to 1 million subscribers right now. We could do it. According to Social Blade, we are still about 10 days away. I think we could actually do it today. So on your way out, we have a second stream tonight of Trump's Corona rally. To be notified, hit the subscribe button on the way out. And you'll help us. This says we're 6,000 away. We're really 5,300 away. It's actually a much smaller margin. Help us out. Let's do it. Let's do it so we can move on and get beyond it. And then we're going to move on to 50,000 on Twitch. And then we're going to move on to 100,000 on Twitch. And we're going to go to Iowa. And we're going to go to New Hampshire. And you guys know how it works. All right, let's play us out with the Plasma song. I will be back in just about 3.5 hours with you fine folks. With the Trump Corona rally tonight. Thank you.
To make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will save countless lives. Convalescent strong antibodies from the blood of recovered patients to help treat patients battling a current infection. Convalescent is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent. Today I'm pleased to make a truly historic announcement in our battle against the China virus that will saved countless lives. We provided $48 million to fund the Mayo Clinic study that tested the efficacy of convalescent plasma. The virus. Convalescent plasma. This is the only possible, and it's only made possible because of Operation Convalescent plasma.